Let's ask Professor Siegel, what does Robert Jackson mean to the icon of New York practice?
All right, I'll tell you very simply. I've mentioned this every class, almost every class I've had knows if the subject comes up. He's one of my favorite judges, not from the point of view of the subject matter he adjudicated, because he didn't write that much in my realm of civil procedure, but for his style, the language. He would hurl a thought into your brain so quickly and so thoroughly that you didn't realize that it was mere language that was bringing it there. That was his style. I contrasted style very often. I've done this in class too, with other great stylists in the law. Judge Cardoza from our own Court of Appeals. Judge Cardoza was so smitten with language that sometimes, as you were reading what he was saying about the law, you were preoccupied not with the substance of his discourse, but with the language in which he was doing it. You never had that with Jackson. With Jackson, the law and his statement of it were simultaneous. He was tossing it into your brain. And that's chiefly why I so admired him. Of course, other things. I read one of his books, a book that I very much enjoyed, discovered it while I was in law school, The Struggle for Judicial Supremacy. I don't have to mention that here. I'm sure that's a big part of your activities here. And what he did for me, you know, oh, I'd love to be talking about this thing. He pinpointed, to my mind, in that book and in his beautiful Jacksonian language, the moment when Franklin Delano Roosevelt's New Deal was finally accepted by the United States Supreme Court. He pinpoints the day. Well, there's Jackson for you. And of course, some of the quotations he's come up with over the years. I have very often quoted something that's very well known here as well. You know, when the United States Supreme Court decides something and you think they're dead wrong, and I think they're dead wrong whenever they disagree with me. I have a very simple philosophy. He came up with that marvelous expression about that if there were some super Supreme Court sitting over us, speaking as a United States Supreme Court Justice, he has no doubts that they would experience their share of reversals. And then he came up with, I suppose, his most famous quotation, that we are not supreme because we are infallible. We are infallible because we are supreme. That's a very simply stated emotion. Many people have thought, but look at the succinct phraseology in which he put it forth. I've quoted that in classes dozens of times.